Hi friends, and welcome to another video of TT Reacts to Reddit handstands. So let's see what is going on this Reddit. First up, we have this man, day 3. So I'm not liking what I see so far. It appears he is climbing up onto the wall, and it's very strange. Do you guys notice how his back is arched in this movement, and it's not the correct proper form that you would see in a handstand? The reason for that is this is not how you practice for a handstand. It's just not efficient, and I believe you need to face toward the wall and kick up onto the wall if possible. Now, if you cannot kick up onto the wall, you will do what he's doing, but this still isn't the correct exercise you should be doing. What you would do in this case is this exercise right here, where you're adequately engaging your core. Now, you really have to be mindful of the muscles that you're using, because when you're practicing for a handstand in this way, you're really not engaging any muscles. What I want you guys to understand is you need to think about which muscles need to be engaged before you go into any sort of training, any sort of practice. The way I think about it is sometimes I'll do a handstand day for shoulders, sometimes I'll do it for abs, and I'll cater it to that muscle. And when you know which muscle you're engaging, it's a lot easier to engage it in that training. So for the people that are just starting out, I think you just need to know which muscles you're engaging. Your shoulders, your core, and your chest. Those are the big 3. And of course there are others, your triceps and your back, whatever. Yeah, you're engaging those too, but the big ones are the ones I mentioned, and so that's what you're gonna have to warm up first. And just knowing that before you go into it will help you with your training tremendously. Now moving on, this one is a photo, am I overarching my back? No, but you are not engaging your chest. That's what your current problem is. You need to turn your entire body around, bend your knees, and then you'll be able to gauge the proper form of how you're supposed to do it. You're also too close to the wall. Your stomach is touching the wall, your toes are touching the wall, and 2 more inches, your face will be touching the wall. So this isn't correct. You need to turn around, move about 6 to 7 inches further away from the wall. Bend your knees and pop your feet out and do this movement here. I think that's a good way to understand how to do the handstand. Now, you do have in your favor that you're not overarching your back, but you're also not faced toward the wall. So, yeah. And when I say face to the wall, I mean when you're standing up. Now, a lot of people are like, he is facing the wall, he is facing the wall. No, he's not, because when he climbs up on the wall, he's faced away from it in order to climb up on the wall. That's not how you do it. So that's my advice for him. Face toward the wall and engage your chest. So this is the same guy as the first video. Day 2. Yeah, so I see here he is overarching his back. That's not how you do it. He is facing the wall in this video here. What I do like is he has good chest activation from the looks of it, but he does not have core activation. So he needs to bend his knees and stop doing the movement with your legs where you're going out, because that's not doing anything. I don't know what your goal is with that, because it doesn't appear you have the balance or the knowledge or the skill to be doing tricks at this point. I think you need to focus now on just getting the handstand down, and then later on you can add tricks and you know, do whatever with your feet that you want. But as far as I can tell, you're not there yet. So yes, do this exercise, the same one I already recommended. All right, next up, Handstand regression, overtraining, or technique issue? Oh my word. Okay, good chest activation, good shoulder activation. Keep your head up. So first of all, obviously the arch is entirely too much. And I don't think you have the flexibility to be doing that at this point. And your core is not engaged. That's where the arch comes from. You're only arching if you're not engaging your core. Now the only exception is if your knees are bent and your core is engaged but your knees are a little bit bent. It might not look perfect, but it certainly isn't arched like this. You definitely need to focus on engaging your core before you're doing freestanding handstands like this. You need to make sure that you're on the wall and doing different exercises there before you go out and do a handstand. And also focus on your flexibility as well and your mobility, because when you're doing these things, it's very easy to get injured and pinch a nerve, or if you don't know what you're doing, it's very easy to get injured. So make sure that you're warming up and doing stretches and doing different things before you go into these exercises, because the wrong person overarching like this could get a pinched nerve or some sort of damage to their back, which you obviously don't want. But I do think he's on the right track. He can clearly hold a handstand for a long period of time, but he hasn't grasped the fundamentals of the handstand, the mechanics of it, other than chest activation and shoulder activation, which he has down. But the way that the arch continuously got worse over the course of the video, I think that shows a weakness in the handstand, in the integrity of the handstand. Is just not a good handstand at all. All right, last video. Any advice, please? Okay. So I'm very happy with what I see here with his distance from the wall. And it looks like his core is a little bit engaged, and his chest is engaged, his head's a good distance from his body. I think he has good form. I do. But he needs to be faced toward the wall instead of away from the wall, so that he has the wall back there for protection, and he doesn't have to keep putting his foot on the wall in such a way. Just bend your knees and pop your feet out. And this is the way you could do your handstand right here, because I was going to explain it, but just do this method here, because doing what you're doing here is a waste of time, and you're bound to use the wall as a crutch. The wall shouldn't be a crutch. It should just be there for protection. It should be there as a tool. It shouldn't be there to make you feel better and make you feel safer in the handstand. It should just be there in case your handstand fails and you need to go back onto the wall and bend your knees. And that's okay. But what he's doing here with touching his feet on it, no, that's not going to help you hold it for as long as possible. And then, of course, it didn't protect him at the end of the handstand when it failed, because he used a little bit too much energy. So my point is just not a good exercise in general to do for your handstand. That is it, everybody. That is the last video. Thank you for tuning in. If you would like your video featured, go ahead and send it to this email right here, and you'll be in one of my upcoming videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.